everlasting, truly everlasting. And true things, we talk about bad things, only ever bad things. This past year's been a nightmare. I've been losing my shit, trying to fight fair. Really all I need is fresh air. My girl left, never came back. I've been making my brain, trying to think back. Was I truly ever like that? I don't believe in fate. I think the weight of the world lies on your shoulders. I think I need a change, 'cause as of late I've been living in a wasteland. Losing sleep, watch the light reflecting, the hours never ending. And do you think life is everlasting, truly everlasting? So you just walk out that door. I never wanna leave your side, leave your side. I'll pick myself off the floor. I never wanna leave your side again. So you just walk out that door. I never wanna leave your side, leave your side. I'll pick myself off the floor. I never wanna leave your side again. I don't believe fate is written to get my shit together. I think I need a change, 'cause as of late I've been living in a wasteland. I don't believe in fate. I think the weight of the world lies on your shoulders. I think I need a change, 'cause as of late I've been living in a wasteland.
What's up, everybody? How we doing? Happy Monday. Feeling a lot better from last week. I know I was sick. I didn't stream. My apologies. Like I said, I was sick. Still a little bit sick, but can definitely manage a live stream today. Rish, how's it going, man? 30K Bitcoin in March? I doubt it. I wonder if Roman's ever made his own music. No, I don't make my own music. What's up, Dan? How's it going? Small crowd today. My guess is because the market hasn't done anything really over the last month. But we're going to start off with stocks and then continue on. I promised a macro market update today. A couple big things have happened over the last week or so. And I just want to touch on those. So first things first, S&P 500. This is something that we needed to really see to remain bullish, is this kind of breakout, this kind of, my keyboard was blocking my mic was blocking my keyboard. I couldn't move anything. What's up, yes sir? What's up, Ox? What's up, yes? I don't know. I think that's how you say your name. I don't know. I'm doing good, man. I'm still a little sick, but hanging in there. Not nearly as bad as last week. Last week I could barely breathe. So a couple big things. Okay, so when I say this, guys, I want you guys to imagine two boxes. We have macro box. So we have macro, and then we have swing trade box. Swing trade box is, even though if we're in a macro uptrend, my swing trade is saying, okay, the circles would be my swing trade. The macro would be the entire thing, right? So for right now, macro is saying up, at least on the S&P 500, and at least, I don't know about crypto yet. I still think crypto has to move sideways for another year before we get that macro uptrend. But good things with S&P. So we have our downtrend here. We have a breakout and a perfect retest. That is something that we need to see to continue higher. I believe the daily was really overbought the last couple weeks. Might be wrong about that. Guys, I don't trade the S&P 500, and I've been sick and on vacation, so I haven't been paying attention too much. Mind me. No, we weren't really overbought. Kind of weird pullback. Kind of sucks that we're underneath this major resistance, but as of weekly, we do have a breakout and retest. So your macro is saying up. Your macro definitely says up right now, or at least an upward point for the SP 500. Because the DXY is a completely different story. The DXY looks really, really bearish to me. Or at least it makes the rest of the market look very, very bearish. Now, we do have a couple of things. One, we have these interest rate hikes. Two, obviously, layoffs are coming. People got paid less this year. Inflation's still pretty high. Cost of goods are still up. So I still have the back of my mind thought that there could be a market crash. And although I may change my technical analysis thought to what's happening on the charts, I don't know how you can get ridiculed for this. Guys, this is technically bullish. A breakout and retest is technically bullish. Now, however, this is a diagonal line, which you guys know me. I don't like diagonal lines. So realistically, I'm still up in the air of the whole macro S&P 500 thing because there's really not a whole lot of confluence. Looking at DXY, this is where things get ugly. And, we're in log. That would be why. So DXY actually had a breakdown, deviation, and a turn back to trend kind of move, which is extremely bearish for equities and crypto. That's why we've kind of seen the sideways or downward movement over the last couple weeks with crypto. This is something that I have a hard time accepting as bullish for the S&P 500 because when the dollar gains value, technically all other assets should go down. Now there have been instances where the dollar has gone up, and so have crypto and equities. But as a relationship, usually when this goes up, equities go down. That's why over the last year, 2021 or 2022 till now, really the end of 2022, we've seen dollar go up, everything else go down. So still more or less indecisive. We need to see some decisive movement from one of these charts, S&P 500 or DXY. Hope you feel better. Go get you some NA. I don't know what that is, but I will look into it. Do I use fibs? No. I got fibs are, some people use them. I don't. I think having a lot on your chart just makes it more complicated. And I've always lived under the assumption that the less indications a trader uses, generally the better they are. Because guys, most of the things that happen in trading have happened hundreds and hundreds and thousands of times. So you just learn to recognize them. Like, I'll give you something very simple. When price does something like this, right? When price does something like this, you look to take a long. Possible double bottom, we revert, go back into an uptrend. Something very simple, but that's something you see a lot and you identify. That's why patterns work so well. I mean, look at this. Head and shoulders, perfect pattern. If you didn't recognize that this was bearish, I don't know what to say. Do you think SP will break down below the trend line again, considering upcoming rate hike, inflation also rose from the month of January? Possibly. Fibs are a fib. Yeah, I agree. I don't use fibs at all. I think fibs don't mean anything. Like, people put too much emphasis on them. And also, if they don't line up with prior support and resistance or like the most recent, they don't matter, right? Oh, excuse me. That's what we're trying to figure out, right? If the S&P 500 is going to break down because the DXY broke back up. So virtually, the S&P 500 should break down. Bitcoin hasn't broken down yet. I'm wondering if maybe the S&P 500 is following Bitcoin to a degree. VIX, not even going to look at it. It looks like a mess. It's because people aren't scared. Any update about the fund? Yeah, the fund starts March 1st. I'm trying to work out when we can have like the quote-unquote Roman fund where you guys can legally, and again, this would be legal, give your money to the fund and then basically I trade it. Like, I can't do that personally because I don't have the licensing. I don't have all the shit that you need. I'm just going to say it broadly. I don't have the shit that you need to legally trade personal money, but I joined a private equity fund as a trader, and I will be opening the doors to trading funds if you are interested in that kind of thing. I know a lot of people that are really interested, which is awesome. But I just want to reiterate that anything you do financially is a risk. I will do my best to manage your money and make you money, but there's always risk, and no matter what you do. Crypto total market cap, perfect breakout, retest weekly, big chart. Yeah, I'll check it out in a second. But yeah, we're kind of stuck between the DXY and SPX, right? Because you have a breakout and retest, which is bullish. But with the DXY, you have a breakdown, deviation, and then a breakout, right? We actually broke out above this horizontal resistance. It's been resistance multiple times, and now we're back above it. And the S&P actually failed to get above its resistance, which now we actually have to move this to here and somewhat, or even, I would even say maybe something like this, maybe something like that, because we have some struggle here, definitely struggle here, maybe some deviation here, maybe. Yeah, we'll leave it there for now. Like I said, I don't really trade stocks. I just look at the macro wise, like what's the trend? Trend looks like up for now, but we'll have to see how this week closes. Again, this is a weekly. I'd say it's very likely we close this week back down. And if we do, that's no bueno. That is no bueno. Total. So Total One, for those of you that don't know, it's all of crypto, not just Bitcoin. It's all of it. So we do have one thing for sure, which we do have a descending wedge. We did have a double bottom breakout. We did not retest anything yet. Kind of struggling at or near a potential resistance around here. I will actually, for the sake of being somewhat accurate, we'll do this. So we're kind of toying with resistance still, right? And we're going to do this too. I want my charts to look consistent with crypto. We'll leave that for there. So, yeah, we're struggling at this resistance. Let's look at the daily. I usually don't do this for total, but let's look at the daily. So a couple things, and you guys are going to hear me say the exact same thing on Bitcoin, because really crypto total looks exactly the same as Bitcoin. A couple things. One, we have bearish divergence, right? We have RSI. Your RSI is pointing downward. Your price is going upward. You also have bearish divergence on MACD. Again, you have lower highs here, higher highs here. To me, we have a couple options. One, and guys, I want you to recognize something. If you've been here for a while, you know what's going to happen next. But if you haven't been here for a while, the bull market doesn't just start right away. Right now, everyone on Twitter is going to try and get you all anxious and get you all hyped so you can follow them so they know they can make more money in the bull market regardless. Guys, the last couple of cycles, we've done this. We've literally done this. We did it in 2019. We did all that. And this is, 2018 all the way to really 2020, almost 2021. We basically moved sideways for 2 whole years. Yes, this is a huge price range. But from that period of consolidation, obviously, 6x, 7x, whatever, however you DCA, hopefully my DCA is somewhere in the 5 to 10x category for Bitcoin, but we'll have to see. This is more likely to happen than this. And that's the thing that most people don't understand. I know that there's lots of traders, influencers, and they're telling it this melt up is going to happen, that this crazy upward move that's never going to stop is going to happen, and you're going to get left out, and you're a fool. And I hate to break this to you guys, but if you didn't buy, like a lot of us did, at that 16.5 zone for Bitcoin, I don't know what a lot of alts are at because I don't trade alts during the bear market. This move is most likely over. And I'm going to show you a couple things here with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's bear market rallies are typically between 50 and 80%-ish, depending on the rally. This is something I teach my trading students. When we're in the bear market, it's actually the best time to trade. Right? You can actually make a lot of money trading in the bear market. So here you have a very, very clear inverted head and shoulders. You have a neckline, long somewhere on that right shoulder with that pairs with the closes of the left shoulder. Super, super easy to trade. Stop losses maybe below some of those wicks. Regardless, you long there, long the breakout. We go retest, continue on the daily. And this is where trading the daily comes into huge consideration for the bear market. We actually have some bearish divergence here, and honestly, the top was marked up here because you have bearish divergence here. But we have some problems here. One, and this is why I love to use price action. One, you have volume going up, price moving up in the ultimate beginning, which is great. And that is shown through momentum, that's shown through RSI. You have higher highs on RSI. Now, granted, divergences don't always matter. And that's why I don't look at these charts all the time. That's why usually I only have this open, right? Just price, volume, patterns, whatever. On the next move up, we actually have volume going down. That is where you start marking exhaustion. From that point forward, you have to look at divergences. You have to look at the trend, maybe draw a trend line, which if we drew our trend line, we knew our trend line was here. If you really wanted to be conservative, you could draw a trend line here. It depends on the type of trader you are. I personally would have drawn mine more horizontal, especially if I was in down here. I would have been looking to take profits. Anyways, you have that volume differential where volume is now, price is going up, volume is going down. That is the start of exhaustion. From that point forward, and now our volume's even going lower on the second wave upwards, or the second move upwards. Now you have divergences here. You don't really get divergences on MACD. However, the moving averages you don't. However, here you do. On the actual momentum candles, you actually get divergence. You have huge amounts of divergence momentum going down. Now, the moving averages aren't perfect. I don't like to use them that much. just because they can be very misleading. But you do have that divergence. You have, you also have, if you draw that diagonal, you also have a breakdown here and a retest. So you really could have taken profits here at 9,600, especially if you're in at 7K. But that's how you swing trade, right? And this whole upward move now reverts to the downside. Now we know COVID, right? But this was going to happen regardless. We were either going to do this, maybe dip a little bit like this, continue sideways. This happened because of COVID. So we're going to ignore this. We would have kept moving sideways. You could have longed the double bottom here, shorted the head and shoulders here, continuing. Now we have the entry. We also know that the bull market's potentially starting because the halving happened. There's another double bottom here. Could have longed this and held the entire time where we had absolutely no signs of exhaustion. Not only, yes, we did have some divergences, but this is why I try and say divergences don't matter that much, because you have volume going up the entire time until we get to like 30,000, 40,000. So actually volume went up the entire time until 40,000. Actually, we actually have exhaustion on that volume at 40,000. But if you hadn't taken profits on a 4X yet, I don't know what to tell you, because you're just a fool. I think I would have taken, if I could redo this, I probably would have held until 28 to 32K to be conservative, but I would have definitely looked to re-enter if I could. Isn't the global financial system collapsing? No. That's just people that want engagement. I don't think the global financial system's going anywhere. If they wanted the global financial system to collapse, they would have done it already. But now that I've shown you that, and I want you to keep that in the back of your mind, now we're here, right? We're here, the current move. We did a 60% upward move. We had a super clean double bottom. We went all the way up, retest. Now we're all the way up again. We have divergences. We have divergences on all other exchanges, other than the one. I believe that was a what was it? The Fed rate day, whatever it's called. I don't really follow those things anymore. But Powell spoke. That's why you have that one volume candle. And just for the sake of it, I'm going to grab this chart, just to keep things very, very simple, because it looks exactly the same on Binance, but there's a lot of volatile candles from the Fed meeting. Now you have volume going down between these highs, right? Between all three of these highs, you have volume going down. You have divergences. Either we continue moving sideways for another month or two, and then we can go up so these divergences sort themselves, or this move is over and we will retest a major support area, which would be around your 18K, maybe your 20K, 19K, somewhere around there. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. On the swing trade end of things look exhausted. Macro-wise, I have no idea if we're entering a new bull market, but I do know Bitcoin needs to consolidate for at least another year before we see that crazy 10 to 20x price move. Excuse me, I need some water. Is there a please check total log chart? No, I don't use log charts. Keep up the good work. You're a very nice person. I'll thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. But I just explained why Bitcoin is most likely going to have a larger pullback, because now we're going to start that new trend. However, we're going to remove these lines. Let's talk about the scenario, like any sort of short scenarios. So if you're going to trade, and this is what I do with my students, this is how I teach people how to trade. You're looking and anticipating and using risk management to maintain or really control how much profit. Because, and I know this is going to sound really simple, and I know I'm going to get grilled for this, but your goal as a trader is to reduce your losses as best you can and secure the highest amount of gain you can, or either consistent gain. So even if you lose 5 trades in a row, if you win the next 1 or 2 trades, your profits are exceeding your losses exponentially every time. You don't need leverage to do this. So this is what I do with my students. And for those of you that are interested, I'm starting my next live teaching session after the first week in March. So that would be, well, it's really after the 1st of March. So the 1st of March is this Wednesday. I would be starting that following Tuesday, the 7th. So if you're interested in that, I don't know why these other links, oh no, they do work. There are links in the chat, in the YouTube description. They're in Discord. They're on my Twitter bio. Read it. If you have any questions, you can ask prior students or myself. But this is the kind of shit that we do, and this is the kind of shit you learn. So here we go. We got a couple options. One, definitely a possible double top. We have the divergences. We have the price action, the exhaustive price action. We'd have to see that form in order to take a short. Taking a short right now is not worth it. Why? Because we're in between major support and resistance, right? So you have your resistance here, support here. I've had numerous people today from the like the analysis program that just joined over the last couple weeks, asking every single day, do I take a short? Do I take a long? Are we long today? Are we short today? And I'm not a day trader. I don't long or short based on the day. I look at the daily and the 4-hour, and I wait for that trade setup or that potential, or I anticipate a trade setup in order to, attempt it or figure out my risk management to enter or whatever. I mean, a perfect example is double bottom. We killed this thing. I mean, we had a perfect double bottom. On this first bottom, we said maybe possible double bottom, maybe inverted head and shoulders, maybe whatever it might be. We ended up tapping this, coming completely, not breaking. I mean, that was a perfect double bottom, logging again on the daily breakout, and we shot upwards. I mean, it's super, super easy. Super easy. I know I'm going to get fried for this. My brain is at like half capacity right now because I'm sick and trying to explain something complex, very simplified. No, you don't get a discount. Because on my birthday, I'm still working. If I don't use a log chart, then I can't see a 30K coming. Well, I just explained like 100 reasons why 30K is most likely not coming within the next month. So what do you think of the CBDC? I don't know what the CBDC is. And again, my brain, I'm going to have to look that up because I'm going to look like a real idiot if I don't know what that is. CBDC. What is this? Oh, central bank digital currency. I don't know. I haven't heard a lot about it, honestly. Oh, okay. I see. It's basically a public blockchain. Where do I buy my gold chain? What? What kind of question is that? I don't even have a gold chain on right now. I mean, Rich, I'm really excited that you're bullish right now, but you know what? I'm gonna let you do your own thing. I'm not even gonna go there. You do your own thing. Tether dominance. Couple things here. I don't see a double bottom yet, and we're just gonna look at the weekly. We're kind of trading in between a major support and resistance area. For the sake of having a little bit of extra support or maybe a minor support zone. Again, this chart's tough to read. There's a lot of chop here, so I just made a major and minor. We're kind of closer to support than to resistance. Obviously, we know when this chart goes up, Bitcoin goes down. For the 4-hour, I don't really see anything. Just looks like we're kind of revisiting or will revisit support. So Bitcoin might pump and get that double top. See, I would like to see this. I'd like to see this shoot back down to this level, curve back up, because we know exactly what happens with Bitcoin. Bitcoin does this, right? Yeah, I don't know how it'll affect Bitcoin. I have no idea. I just don't use fibs because I don't find them reliable, and they clutter my chart. Now, I know people that trade fibs every day of the week, and that's all them. I just personally don't because I mean, look at this crap. It just, wherever the fibs are. Like, that's why I don't trade Elliott waves, because I think Elliott waves are crap too. Like fib retracement, like it just looks like a bunch of crap. I don't even, and there's like that bias, like do you put them on the wicks, do you put them on the opens and closes, like what do you do? And I just don't even care to look into it. I think the less indicators you'll use, the better off you'll be. I don't see how using a log chart has anything to do with figuring out where Bitcoin's going to go. I just explained that the whole thing looks exhausted and will most likely revisit at least a major moving average. Like I would think that we retest like the 200. And I don't like using moving averages for those of you that know me. And we also have a looming, I mean, we're probably going to get this and just retest the 200. I don't know why we wouldn't. You'd have a breakout and retest, which would be bullish. So, but yeah, guys, I'm probably just going to end it there. I don't have a lot to talk about. Unfortunately, I don't really see any trade setups or anything. I will say again, for those that might have missed, starting the next live session for the trading school in March. So sign up after March 1st or else you'll be double billed. If you're interested or have any questions, feel free to ask anyone in Discord or myself. I tried to put like a bunch of testimonials in there. So people wouldn't have to just like ask people, but you're more than welcome to ask the students. A lot of them really enjoy it. But with all that said, guys, be patient.